possibility of locking into the championship four in front of the playoff drivers. Right now, Logano first in points, Chase Elliott second, Ross Chastain and William Byron the top four again in points, but a win and you lock yourselves in. Parker.
Right, and one team trying to do that would be the 12 of Ryan Blaney. They were fastest in practice yesterday, qualified fourth, and ran in the top five for much of the first portion of that stage. And then they had that slight issue on their pit stop with the left front. It turned out to be okay. It was just a little slow. Ryan has been slightly upset with the speed and the handling of that race car, but they continue to find themselves here just inside the top 10, Dave.
On the first pit stop, not this one, Chase Elliott got an adjustment for his 9 car. Did it help? Listen.
Yeah, I've just got that hand loose in my hands now. Built, just a touch to the right front. Screws me.
To go back on that change, just make as much time as you can, try to find something.
They did, in fact, go back on that adjustment this time. We'll see if that makes the 9 car better, Marty.
Boy, Dave, it's been an eventful day for playoff driver Chase Briscoe. He was down a lap, just now got the free pass. Just talked to Johnny Klossmeyer a moment ago. He said first run the car was way too tight. This run the car was way too free. So he took a big swing here, hoping to hit the middle. He's the last car on the lead lap, hoping to stay on the lead lap on this run as we start stage 2, Rick.
Yeah, Briscoe is going to restart 25th, and right now he's 31 points below that cut line. So the lowest in points as the field approaches the Geico restart zone. Up front, Wallace and Suarez will battle it out.
See that 19 car, Mark Truex Jr. drove from the back of the field up here today. He's had a fast car in stage 1, 3 wide. Look at this restart. Multiple rows of 3 wide.
Kevin Harvick in the 4 on the inside of that first 3 wide row.
It's like a Talladega restart. Where do you want to be? Looks like all the lines have good momentum.
Ross Chastain with momentum. And now Trackhouse Racing looking dominant here at Vegas, running 1 and 2 and pulling away.
Still 3 wide. Talk about, early in this run, you can damage a tire. You have no choice but to run hard right here. You don't push hard, you can lose 5, 6, 7, 8 spots. Here, Christopher Bell barely out of the gas.
He dives to the middle here, meeting the sandwich off of turn 4. Truex in the 12, drafting on the outside, trying to get around the 4 of Harvick. Trackhouse teammates still out front. Oh, the 20 car bottoms out, has to get out of the gas right there.
How about this one of Chastain? Finishes the stage in 11th. Great pit stop, great restarting. Here he is battling for the lead. That's a big swing of events when you can gain that many spots on one pit cycle.
He had real good speed in practice, Steve, and I don't know where he was the whole first stage. Could not get into the top 10, but here he is showing really good speed, helping his teammate. They're trying to drive away.
And one thing we haven't talked about a lot is how important pit crews are going to be as these playoffs move along. That one team, Ross Chastain, you can make a real argument, has been the best on pit road all year long and showed it again today.
And a lot of these teams saw that right rear tire issue with the 12 car in practice, probably came in real conservative to start this race. Are they leaning the other way now that they've made it a few runs on tires? They see the tire is durable, or are they going the other way on air pressure, getting more aggressive, finding more speed?
That's a great point, Junior. Absolutely. Kind of a knee jerk. You have to. After seeing that tire in practice, you got to do something.
And now Daniel Suarez has pulled almost to a half-second lead over Ross Chastain, Parker.
Well, and Dale, you brought up an interesting point there about as these teams feel out these tires, they might get a little more aggressive with that tire pressure. But think about teammates and how they can help each other, like you may be seeing between this 99 and the one from Trackhouse. So Diego Suarez getting knocked out of the playoffs last weekend. Travis Mack told me, there's things that we can do and be more aggressive with on this 99 car that will help that one car. And I just have to think, if tire pressure situations could be an issue and that 99 wants to be more aggressive, we saw how fast he was in that first stage, how much maybe the one didn't have that speed but now does. How are they helping each other, Marty?
Parker, we have talked all year long about the aggressiveness of Ross Chastain and kind of how he's backed that down during the playoffs. I talked to Ross about that this week, and he said, listen, I think there's more for me to push the edge, and I think our team, no doubt, in the round of 12, we were very conservative on how far we were pushing the car. But today, all of that ends, finish outside the stage points, as you guys mentioned. But, Jeff, here's my question. How can you flip that aggressiveness for for Phil Surgeon and Ross Chastain back on. They haven't really been that aggressive group since July. He's got to find it in these final 4 races.
The only way to do that, Marty, is to tell your driver that we don't care what the car looks like after the race. You go do what you want to do, and we got your back. Drivers got to know that no matter what he does, they're going to support it. And it's hard to pull a guy back. They did that in the regular season. Now they just need to turn him loose and let him be Ross Chastain, and the Ross Chastain that got him into the playoffs.
Well, Jeff, I'll tell you, Marty, myself, and Dale Jarrett were on the front of the grid for countdown to green, and Ross kind of came up off camera, but he was joking and poking and smiling, and he looked relaxed. We talk about the pressure of the playoffs. This looks like a driver that was ready and excited for what was in front of him today. Sometimes you can see him kind of get a little nervous. Not today. Ross Chastain had a little swagger when he was walking out to driver introductions.
And definitely a reason for that as we see the 2 Trackhouse Racing drivers running 1 and 2 right now with Suarez and Chastain. Then it's Logano, Blaney, and Larson. Nice 3.
Big battle off of turn 4 here.
And into the wall goes Bubba Wallace. And he comes back across the track, tags the 5. They're both in the wall, and the caution comes out.
That's the 20 car of Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell hard into the outside wall.
A playoff driver involved in this. That hard racing by the 5. And the 45 now has caught up the 20 of Christopher Bell.
Well, if that wasn't intentional, I don't know what was. You okay?
Bubba Wallace out of the car. The AMR safety crew to him as he is walking down the racetrack.
They went into turn 3, 3 wide, battling for position, arguing through turn 4.
He's headed right now for the 5 car.
The 5 came up the racetrack. That sent Bubba into the wall. Bubba seems to be a little upset about that, wants to know what was going on over there.
Some big impacts.
Larson's out of the car as well. We saw him take the helmet off. Bubba now about 20 yards away.
As they were spinning, they clipped the 20 car coming by.
Literally, Bubba Wallace, obviously, exceptionally frustrated. NASCAR trying to get him calmed down. They want to get him in the AMR safety vehicle to get him back to the Infield Care Center.
Anytime the drivers get out of the cars, they have to go to the Infield Care Center, and so that's where they're headed. Let's take a look at what happened.
So down the back straightaway, the 4 and the 45 are side by side. Larson's going to go to the bottom here into turn 3. Harvick backs out. The 5 sliding up the racetrack, Bubba just feels like that the 5 didn't give him much room as he would have liked to come off of that corner. They're chasing him up the track here.
Yeah, Larson's got him in a bad spot right there and gets him in the wall. Then they go down the front straightaway, and it just looks like to me Bubba hangs the left to retaliate. And I got a problem with that. You're going as fast as they're going, and you hang a guy in the right rear quarter panel. That is exceptionally dangerous. That's racing right there. Larson's fault for sure, but that right there is not acceptable. Takes out Christopher Bell. That's an exceptionally dangerous move.
The shot the 5 takes to the driver's door on the front straightaway is vicious. I mean, it's a hit.
Yeah, I just can't. I just can't. That's not right. I mean, Kyle Larson clearly messed up and got Bubba in the wall. That's on Larson, but a retaliation in the right rear quarter panel on a 1.5 mile racetrack, that is exceptionally dangerous.
And again, it caught up the 20 of Christopher Bell. This is the response. Bubba Wallace didn't like Larson turning away from him.
kind of surprised by Bubba's frustration. I know that he felt like he had a winning race car.
Oh, I don't blame him for being exceptionally mad. Like he did, he's running very well, led a lot of laps, got running the wall. Right? I don't blame him for being.
I know he's
furious.
mad. I know he's mad, but we don't have guys walking over and getting physical like that too often. So that surprised me a little bit out of Bubba. But
yeah, and the on-track action as well.
And now the cars making their way onto pit road. Parker.
And Ryan Blaney will pit out of the 4th position at the top of your screen there. Just still lacking that grip on exit. 4-wheel slides off the corner for the 12 of Ryan Blaney, so he'll continue to make air pressure adjustments for him, Dave.
1 and 2 not awful for the driver of the 24, but turns 3 and 4 got worse, so they'll make another change here for William Byron, Marty.
Pitting here should have put everyone to the end of stage 2, Dave, but certainly going to call the Goodyear tires into question. Ross Chastain happy with the handling of his car, wants a very small adjustment to tighten it up just a little bit.
Coming off pit road, Denny Hamlin, a 2-tire stop. Trying a little strategy here to get up front. Anger between the 45 and the 5. Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson. NASCAR Cup Series playoffs on NBC. The South Point 400. Tempers boiling over here in Las Vegas. You see the damage to the 20 of Christopher Bell. He got caught up in the incident between the 45 of Bubba Wallace and the 5 of Kyle Larson. Marty is standing by with Bubba.
Yeah, Bubba's out of the infield care center. We could clearly see your anger, Bubba. First, walk us through what happened. Cliff Daniels said if that wasn't retaliation, I don't know what was. Was it intentional retaliation on your behalf?
Clint's smart enough to know how easy these cars break. So when you get shoved into the fence, like deliberately like he did, trying to force me to lift, steering was gone. So just so happened to be there. Hate it for our team. Super fast car. Had no short run speed, as you were seeing. We were kind of falling there. Larson wanted to make a 3-wide dive bomb. Never cleared me. And I don't lift. So I know I'm kind of new to running up the front, but I don't lift. So wasn't even in a spot to lift, and he never lifted either. And now we're junk. So just a piss poor move on his execution.
When situations like this happen, Bubba, at this speed, is retaliation an acceptable thing?
Stop fishing. Stop fishing.
I'm not fishing. I'm just asking you. Let's also talk about the message you wanted to send to Kyle by going up to him after the incident.
He knows. He knows that what he did was wrong. He wanted to question what I was doing. He never cleared me. So just hate it for our team. Our McDonald's Toyota Camry was super solid. Just needed to find a little bit on the short run, get the balance where we needed it, and it would have been just like Kansas. But now that car's jumped.
There's always unintended consequences when something like this happens. Christopher Bell was a part of that, clearly a Toyota teammate and a playoff driver. Your reaction to that?
Sports.
There you go. Bubba Wallace obviously very upset and delivered his message he felt like to Kyle Larson. He said Larson knows the message I was trying to deliver. We will get a word with Kyle Larson when he comes out of the infield care center just a moment ago.
Bubba now chatting with the rest of the media here. But we saw the crew working on the 20 of Christopher Bell. So Bell now has scored 5 laps down as the field continues to work its way around the track here in 34th.
Yeah, just a race against the clock for the 20. They have 10 minutes on the damaged vehicle policy to try to make repairs, go out and meet minimum speed. We'll have to see if that has the updates that they need. Marty now has the second driver involved, Kyle Larson.
Yeah, Kyle Larson out. So walk us through the incident from your perspective, and did his reaction and retaliation kind of surprise you?
No, I mean, it didn't surprise me. I obviously made an aggressive move into 3 and got in low and got loose and chased it up a bit. And, yeah, I mean, he got to my right front and it got him tight into the wall and knew he was going to retaliate. So, like I said, I mean, he had a reason to be mad, but his race wasn't over until, he retaliated. So it is what it is. Yeah, just aggression turned into frustration, and you're retaliated.
Is retaliation, Kyle, at that speed an acceptable thing?
I think with everything that's been going on here lately with head injuries and, all that, fractured ligaments and all that, I don't think it's probably the right thing to do, but, hey, we've all done it. Maybe not all of us, but I mean, I have. I've let the emotions get the best of me before too. So, just I'm sure. Yeah, I know he's probably still upset, but I'm sure with everything going on, he'll know that he made a mistake in the retaliation part, and I'm sure he'll think twice about it next time.
What about the off-track retaliation when he came up and tried to shove you? Did that catch you off guard?
No, I mean, I seen him walking over, so I figured he would do something. So just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, just like I said, he had every right to be upset. I'd rather him do that than tear up our cars in a dangerous matter. So yeah, just is what it is.
Glad to see both of these guys are okay, but clearly some very, very upset drivers down here, Parker.
Right, Marty, and the playoff repercussions for the 20 team of Christopher Bell here as you see him back in the garage. They went over the 10 minutes of the damaged vehicle policy, trying to fix that left rear suspension. They were unable to do so, so he is now out of the race here as in the first race of the round of 8.
We've seen him backed into a corner before. He was at the Roval a race ago, and this is the emotions of racing. From the high of winning the race in the Roval a week ago to now, he is in the garage out of this race.